What are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? Happy New Year. This is 2024, and my first question to you is, what are you thankful for? My podcast clocked 1 year 2 days ago, and Spotify reminded me about that, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you, my listeners. I'm grateful for family, I'm grateful for health, I'm grateful for provision, and I'm grateful for the littlest thing that I got in 2023. And here in 2024, I am already thankful because I know it is filled with special packages for me, filled with special packages for every one of us. So, what are you thankful for? That is my first question for the year. While you're listening to this podcast, if this is your first time, please click on the follow button or subscribe to my podcast channel, The Child in Me by Omo Oyebola. I would so appreciate this, and it will really go a long way. If you want me to mention your name, yes, I'll be doing that this year. And also, another thing I'll be pointing out on my podcast this year is talking about life in general. The child in me, we all have it in us, and this year we're really going to bring it out. Because why? There's too much pressure in life for us not to talk about the child in us. You understand? My name is Oma, and this is The Child in Me. My first charge to you this year is to go closer to God, draw nearer to Him. In whatever religion you are, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or any other religion that I did not mention in this podcast, please draw closer to God. This year, if there is one thing you would do, is to make sure you put all your faith in Him and not in any human. Think about it. If you have been putting your faith in human, where has that led you? So this year, I'll urge you to put your faith in God and do your best. Don't let anyone pressure you. Hey, I can't emphasize this enough. I can't push this enough. Do not let anyone pressure you. There's this slogan going on in the western part of Africa, Nigeria to be precise. It says no grief for anybody. No grief for anybody means don't take any trash from anyone. Do not accept anything less from anyone. No grief for anybody. I know people have been using this slang, and it's like the one they have created for 2024, and some people have been using it in some not so good manner, in negative manners. But I urge you, no grief for anybody, for real. It's a slang, and I've just said the meaning. But when I mean no grief for anybody, I'm not talking about external people. Now we're going within. We're coming home. We're bringing it home. No grief for yourself. Do not accept less from your imposter self. You see, your imposter self, you should take over, take charge. You should be the voice you want to hear. Your consciousness should be very, very active this year. No grief for that your imposter self, that particular one that's telling you can't do this, you are not up to that, you cannot achieve this, and that so person is doing so much better than you. Do you think you can beat that person? Do you think you can achieve this in life? Why don't you just settle for less? Why don't you stay where you are? This is your comfort zone. Remember, you don't want problem for yourself, so don't go too far, and don't try this new idea out. Don't do what will make you progress because you've been enjoying this, your stagnant position. That is your imposter self. So don't take all those things from that self this year. Be conscious about your decision. Be intentional about your decision. I know it's barely 10 days into 2024, and we have been seeing a lot of things online, on social media, everywhere around us. People have been writing, in 2023, I made 10 billion. I made 100 million. And some people have even taken it another extent, and they are now saying, I'm the coach. If you want to make 300 million this year, just send a DM, click on this link, and all sorts. That's pressure, social media pressure. Like I wrote on someone's comment on Instagram. I wrote it in someone's comment on Instagram when the person was like, this pressure is too much. Every page I swipe to, I'm seeing people talking about how much they made in 2023. And I just wrote in that comment, and I told the person, any page that pressures me, in fact, I've been doing that a long time ago. I will just click on the unfollow button and stop following the person. And social media, especially Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I've made it very easy. Even TikTok, I've made it very easy for you to trim or to filter the kind of post you want to see. That is if you're not the one who went to look for the person and started following them. So if you're following any page that's pressuring you, please don't unfollow me. I don't pressure people, I advise people. So please don't unfollow me. But if you're following people that are putting pressure on you, that are making you feel like you're less, you're not up to anything, and they're pushing things to your face, or pages that you're not comfortable with, your mental health is very important. Click the unfollow button, or just go into your settings on whatever platform you are and filter the kind of post you want to be seeing. At least I know Instagram and Facebook are really doing a lot with that, and they're doing very great jobs with that. So you're able to filter the kind of content you see and the kind of post you receive or ideas you receive on your social media. So this is just a way to, filter your mindset and also be focused, because all these kind of things, I know how the pressure can be. It's becoming waster, and you're already lost in this river of a lot of things that are screaming at your face like, you didn't do good, you're not better, I'm doing better than you. And loads of people have risen calling themselves coach. Oh my god, business coaches online. You see this one, come and learn how to make 5 billion. You see that one, come and learn how to make 100,000. All these things, I know some are legit amongst those people, but please, the spirit of discernment, you need to wear that. You need to have that lately. That's why I mentioned while I began this podcast that you should draw closer to God. You should know God. You should know God for yourself. You should serve Him in truth and in spirit. So you have the spirit of discernment that can tell you what is right and what is wrong, and do not take your instinct for granted. So those are my charges for you in 2024. Thank you for listening to this podcast, The Child in Me. It's going to get interesting from now on. It's not just going to be about me. We're talking about life in general now. We're pushing everybody to do good, but we're not pressuring you. We're only sharing experiences, and we also want you to come forward to share your own experience as a human being. It's very important. So this podcast, I promise you, it's going to get interesting from now on, and you enjoy every episode. So there's a link where you can share this podcast to your friends, even on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook, LinkedIn, every other platform. Just help us push this podcast out, and I will really appreciate you. And if you want me to mention your name, you want me to also shout out to someone, your G, your love, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your parents, your pastor, your teacher, your bestie, your favorite vendor, yes, I will do that on this podcast. And guess what? It is free for now. Free of charge, FOC. So it's a good thing that you should take this opportunity right now before it start getting to the paid version. But trust me, I'll do it for like a lot of people before we get to that paid version side. So cheers. My name remains Omo, and I am your humble host. This is The Child in Me.